welcome to the Unfiltered by G'Ade. So obviously, I'm not Jade. This is your boy Stalker Twit, and we do have a special guest today, and the special guest is Jade. So the phenom that started the Unfiltered by G'Ade podcast, we're going to sit down with her and get to know her a little better. Hopefully, find out what the podcast and how that came about, her journey from her journey and from the past to where she is now and what she sees in the future. So I want to introduce and welcome Jade.
I don't know. All of a sudden I wasn't nervous before. All of a sudden I feel so nervous.
It's okay, don't be nervous.
Hi guys. It feels funny to be on the other side.
Yeah. So, you alright?
I am. I'm good. Yes, I'm good.
Good day to you.
Hi, good day.
Good day. So, you seem pretty happy today.
Yeah.
How was your day so far?
It was amazing. It was amazing. I had an amazing day.
So, tell us a little about Jade so we can get this going.
So, hi everyone. My name is Jade. I am the founder of the Unfiltered by G'Ade. And what else about me? I think I am a good person. I love to laugh. I definitely love to laugh. I love to enjoy myself. I love to be happy. And as something I always live by, it is saying, listen, the purpose in life for me is actually to be happy. I don't have, okay, I want to do this and this is what I want to do in 10 years time. Yeah, I have my plans. I've made plans and whatever, but my main goal in life is actually just to be happy. So many persons have lived their life unhappy,
Just.
Yeah. So yeah.
That's cool.
That's about me.
That's it?
That's about me.
The vast array of things that you've done throughout your career and life.
Ooh.
So tell us about life. Growing up in Jamaica as the daughter of a pastor's child.
Lord God.
What was that like?
So, by the way, guys, I don't know anything that he's asking. So, bear with me. I don't know any of his questions. I'm just being asked them and trying to answer as best as possible. Growing up as a pastor's and a bishop's daughter, I can hear people in the back saying, so she bad, Pastor Pitney is bad. Nothing like that. As a good girl for the most part. So, I mean, you had a lot of expectations from persons. Persons expected you to be a particular way. Sometimes I felt confined, and it had made me almost a bit rebellious because I don't like to be confined at all. I don't like to be put in a box. Mm-hmm. I don't like how your answers so strong. I don't like to be put in a box. I just didn't like that, and I didn't like persons saying, "Oh, everything you're a bishop's daughter, you're a pastor's daughter." I didn't like that until one day my father said to me, "Listen, nobody is supposed to refer you or refer to you as bishop's daughter. You have a name. You're Jade. Let me refer you to you. Are you? You have a personality of your own. Be yourself." I would tell him to tell me that. Lord have mercy. But I mean, and that just gave me that opened the door for me to run with it. So I've been myself. So that it has its ups and downs, its pros and cons, like every other thing. But I think I did all right.
You think you did all right?
Yeah.
Yeah. What's the pros and the cons that you? Because you hear people say, "Well, be yourself," but what does that mean? What does that mean to you?
All right, so I am outspoken.
Okay.
Yeah. I am very outspoken. Well, no, we have the Unfiltered by G'Ade. So I guess it worked out well.
Pretty well.
I am outspoken. What you see is what you get. I don't know how to wear a facade. I don't know how to pretend. If I don't like you, I don't like you. If there's no middle ground, it's what it is. I'm from one extreme to the next. I can be very sad or very happy. So that's where there's really no middle ground for me, and I'm learning that. I'm also a personality where I love perfection. If things are not going the way I want it to go, a problem. I love things in a particular order, and I set myself up that way. Even in terms of, and my sister might be listening, and I know she'll go cuss me about it, but she always say I don't like to lose. It's what it is. I don't like to lose. Yeah.
Most people know
yeah.
that.
So with all of that, answering the question now, with the pros about it, I mean, people knew my father. So it means I get to do a lot of things. I get to go places with him. Places that you don't normally go if you were just like a regular person. Not to bash anybody, because I'm a regular person. But the opportunities that you'll get, I probably got more opportunities than other persons would normally get. Those were the pros to it. The cons to it is really the expectations that persons set up for themselves, for you. But with my mouth, I was always answering, so I got in a whole heap of trouble because of the same mouth.
Yes.
I wasn't. I'm not like, oh yeah, yes.
No, because pastor's daughter normally is almost.
Hey,
like
careful, you know.
No, hold on, man. It was like almost like them take them for to be like a softy type of thing, more like you can just talk to them anyway, and they like you know the old church people like forgive this type of thing.
That never happened for us. That never happened. I mean, they expected us to be involved in everything. Me never have it.
Church.
Me, Jade, I wasn't having any parts of that. My big sister, everybody wanted her to be in scenes, and she would be it, no to her annoyance of it. I don't know. My bigger sister is now involved in church, and my little sister, but fair face alone. So I mean, we were a different set. My little sister, you look at her and she don't play. She don't play, and my brother, he never played either. So we were a different set, and it's not because. I think it's just because we wanted to be ourselves without people telling us what to do. I don't like nobody tell me what to do. I don't like persons normally telling me what to do. It's not,
right.
It's not that it's always a bad thing, but I want to be my own self.
Your own person, right.
If I want to sing, let me sing. If I don't want to sing, I don't sing. That was just my thing.
Yeah, so that's interesting. So, as you grew up as a pastor's PK and all this other stuff, I'm sure there was a lot of expectations, which is normally the case because you have to feel the footsteps of.
No, that's a PK, it was bishop. And it was a higher level of it.
Higher level, sorry.
Oh.
Raise up.
Okay.
Sorry for all the pastors or bishops and whatever. Anyway. So your career now, as you get older, I know that you were involved in social work and those types of things. How did you get involved in that aspect of?
Mother forced me. She said to me, it was after university because I wanted to go to Edna Manley to do dance or whatever. My mother said no, go and do social work, you're a people person. Me, I never thought I was a people person, but she's like, you're a people person, go and do social work. And I was like, if sitting in a classroom again, I don't like school, sorry to say for everybody, I don't like school. And that was oh my god, but looking at it now, I see where it helped, even with me doing this podcast years later down, it has helped. Yeah, that's how I started social work.
That's how you started social work. Now, I'm going to jump forward a little bit and we're going to go back. So, the social aspect of it, how does that help you with doing the podcast and your vibrancy during your podcast?
The money right up in my business. So, what I'm saying now is that I just have... Alright, so I'm going to clear my throat on this one. I am an introvert. I'm an introvert. But my personality is extroverted. That almost sound like me have more than one personality.
So you're a social extrovert, but you're private introvert.
I don't. Alright, so for me, I don't even know how I started the Unfiltered because I am. No, it's true. I am an introvert, and many people say, "No, so." It is what it is. When I go out, I can make you think that my love out there, but that's not the case. I just want to go do what I'm doing and come out, and I prefer working behind the scenes. People who know me closely will know that. And I'm just being myself, and I guess I'm a bubbly person when we're ready. So I guess that's what adds to the show because of my personality, because a lot of people always talk about my personality. That's the first thing that they speak about. I have a big personality. So I guess that adds to it, and it helps with any social interaction that I'm in.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So you were involved in reading your bio. It's a very interesting. You had a very interesting
You
career.
see my bio?
I see your bio.
Oh, okay.
Yes. So what I'm gonna do now is ask you. We're gonna go back now to your music career. How did that get started?
Lord of God, my father.
Okay.
So from a young age, I loved music. Always loved music. Always loved music. Always listen to music. I love it. Absolutely love music. Nothing else to me than music. And my father had a big show. It was at, oh my God, I think it was at Stadium. I don't remember the name of it, but it was one of the biggest. It was a big show with gospel artists and secular artists together. And during it, I saw how everything was, and I got excited about planning. That's how it started. Also, I was able to work there and help and, deal with the artists. And when even they had Transformation Jamaica. That's the name of it. Okay. And even when it is that they had the pre-launch, and I went there and I was able to deal with the different artists and see, and it was just amazing. And I just found myself loving it. And I said it to my father, I was like, I love doing this. He also called me one day, called myself and my sister, and said to us, he wants us to do a club. And he was like, he wants me to be in charge of it and my sister to help, because he sees that this is what I love and I can push it forward. That is how our fix started through my dad. He's the one that instigated all of that. Okay. And right as he did it, I was like, what do I need to do? And he's like, I'm going to leave that in your hands. You decide and you go with it. And I just kicked it off. I think Shepherd was the first person I had on, and I called him, hey, I need you for whatever I got. We had a club, that's how it started for me. That's how this music thing.
The legendary Arfix.
My dear, and then, backup. Okay. Backup was with different artists. So, I mean, Lord, I don't even want to get into it. Right. But I mean, that's how it started, yeah.
Okay. And then that led you to have an interest in doing like radio shows and stuff like that, because you were on radio at several different times.
When you're into my business. So, yes.
Tell us about because podcast is almost in the same line. So how the radio aspect of that now, where would the interest come from, and how did it start?
My father was on radio. Okay. I grew up seeing my parents in Overcomers Hour, where they had, I don't remember which TV station, so I'm not gonna call it, would come and video them at the church ground. Okay. I grew up seeing my parents on TV, hearing them on the radio. It was interesting. How does this work? The first time I think I heard one of them on the radio, I took up the radio. At the time I was small, I took up the radio and trying to find them in the radio. It was just so amazing how it works, how the radio system works, or whatever works. Right. And I had that interest, and I just started there. Someone that I know called me and asked me if I can produce a show. And I was like, yeah, sure. I mean, I've helped persons with their radio stuff before, but it was like, oh, should I not? Mm-hmm. But I did, and I absolutely loved it also. I decided to do a course. Okay. In oral communication, voice and oral for television and radio. Okay. So I decided, hey, I love this, let me do it. And I actually did that course when my father died. Oh, wow. So he knew I was pursuing to do it, and he had me go ahead, and right as I got accepted, he died. And I decided to still go through with it, and I got the course done. And yeah, that's how I got into radio.
Okay, that's interesting.
Yeah. I bet you never know that before, though.
I did not know
No,
that.
you didn't.
That's
Yeah.
That's a good thing. So you talk about your dad a lot. Seemed like he was very influential in your life, and the passing of your dad was very traumatic for you. Walk us through Jade at that time.
Okay. All right. So with my dad, like every other parent, you have good and bad times with your parents. But my father was my role model. My father was like my best friend. You know?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, my sister was my best friend, and I had, but my dad,
He was it.
he was it.
Okay.
Anything I could have gone to my dad with, in terms of, if it is like a boy, I'm a father. My father, if it is that I get love letters from boys, I give my father, and I say, don't tell mommy. I got gifts from boys, went to give daddy. Anything, I went to go give my father. And I was not afraid to tell him what happened. If I go on a date and I kiss a boy, I go to my father, daddy, I kissed this boy and whatever. That was how it was. I don't know why I was never afraid to do so, but I was never afraid to. I always say to persons, he took me out on my first date and said, this is how a man's supposed to treat you. And that has stood out in my mind up till this day.
Okay.
Period pains, my father, my God, too. It's amazing, yeah.
Okay.
It was.
Wow.
It was
That
my
was
father.
okay.
It was always my father in everything. It was my father. When traumatic things happened, it was my father. It was always my father.
Okay.
So when I lost him, I was greatly impacted. I was impacted. In fact, I'll never forget when he died, and we heard, it's like I couldn't breathe. I could not breathe. And he has always said to me growing up, when I die, don't come with me, Don't come with me, because I guess he knew how attached I was to him. He would say that even if we have arguments, because we did have some arguments.
Okay.
I'm not telling no lie. If we did have arguments and he wanted to talk to me but didn't know how to, he would probably wait a bit, like a week or so, and then call, have you eaten? That was his apology.
Yeah.
That was his apology for us to talk about.
And you understood that?
And I understood it, because I was like, no, or I don't answer. And then he will ask something, I don't care if you want to answer or not, And he would just, that was it. I mean, there are things that my father had done to hurt me. There are things I probably have done to hurt him, obviously. Right. But throughout all of that, I loved my father gone to bed. Love him gone to bed. And today, to this
clarify
day,
gone to bed, because
look here, y'all. I love my daddy.
We're not promoting them things there.
No, sure, man. I love my father so much. Love my daddy so much. Yeah, up to this day, it still affects me, because if there's anything, my father would know if something happened to me. Because he would, every time there's something bothering me, or so, he would call, are you okay? What happened to you? As I think I told you, that, listen, because I had an extra phone, and I know there's sometimes people wanted to know, like, why you have two phones? And I'm like, because I bought a phone to talk to my father, because he was like, listen, I can't do this digital. Get a lime.
We're not promoting the brands, I'm not saying.
And I'll get the lime, and he'll send me credit, and he'll tell, listen, no man mustn't buy you less than $500 credit and put on your phone. And
Mercy.
We would talk every day. Yeah, man, he was saying, I'm not buying you less than that. No man's supposed to do that.
All right.
And
so he set a standard.
Of course he did.
Okay.
He did. And we talk almost every day. People sometimes will hear us talking and think it's a girlfriend I'm talking to. We laugh and talk. If he's in a meeting and he's bored, he comes out and call.
Okay.
I just want to get away from this meeting. So he pretended as if it was another meeting. Stuff like that.
Right. Right.
And he called even before he died, the December. I don't think there's a day that he did not call, or I didn't call him. We spoke. Yeah.
Nice. So, all right. You've had some tragedies in your life. A lot of people that were close to you have passed away. And I want you to invoke that feeling and let your audience know.
I'm not invoke no feeling around yourself, sir.
I read that there, but I said those are painful moments in your life, and you've carried yourself through them. So we're going to take a break here, and then when we come back, we want you to answer. Think about it for a second, and then give an answer of dealing with that pain. And we'll be right back on the Unfiltered by Jade.
Shopping Assistance Jamaica takes the stress away from finding those items you can't locate or purchasing items online or locally. From searching to purchasing to delivery, Shopping Assistance makes it very easy. Contact us at 876-919-5195 or email us at shoppingassistance2015@gmail.com. Find us on Facebook at The Shopping Assistance, on Instagram at The Shopping Assistance JA, and on Twitter at Shopping Assist 5.
All right, welcome back to the Unfiltered by Jade. We last left Jade
Speechless. That's how you make me feel.
We're talking on a serious subject of going through some emotional pains because of some deaths of individuals that were close to her at various stages of her life, and we asking her to let us know how did you deal with that, and how are you still dealing with it, if that is the case?
I don't deal with death well at all. Funny enough, I had deaths even from, let's say, 2008. And the funny thing about it is last year I think I dealt with it.
Wow.
Yeah. I don't deal with that. I tend to push them under the carpet and not deal with it, and it affects, people out there. There are things you need to deal with it, because it affects you internally. Best believe, take it from Jade, take it from me. And I think it affected me in a terrible way last year, where all the deaths combined, especially my father is what broke it. It broke it. I was depressed.
Okay.
I suffered mentally, physically, emotionally. I was torn apart. High blood pressure me get. I was torn. But I did counseling. And the truth is, as a counselor, I can't help myself. Okay. So I had to go seek help. And I realized, I think it's after my dad died. When my dad died in 2016, I remember being at work, and I remember I just couldn't breathe. And I called my counselor and I said, "Where are you?" And she said, "Leaving work shortly. What happened?" And I said, "I need to see you now." And I'll never forget it. She left work. She came to my office. We went outside the tree, and I just ball pan her. Ball pan her. Nose not everything. Ball pan her. And I just let it out, and the healing began from there.
Okay.
With everybody that had died or passed, everybody. And I had to deal with it. I had to just say, listen, this is what it is. They have died. deal with it, else you're not going to be able to move on. And that's what had happened. Yeah.
Okay. So in dealing with those things, you seek counseling to kind of talk out the feelings and whatever those situations are
Right.
for you. Okay. So counseling is a good thing.
It is a good thing.
Okay. Okay. So with that, how was your? We know you were previously married. You married? Hold on. Sorry.
Everybody know
Don't even
that.
show that out. Sorry.
I know everybody know yet, but yes, I was previously married.
So, yeah. We have something.
Why you seem so nervous? Why you seem so nervous?
You were previously married. Walk us through that. Your experience.
Being married before?
Being married before. Are you married now?
I am married now.
You're married now? So
yes,
you remarried?
I remarried.
Okay, so then we'll deal with that. So what was your experience as a married individual?
Okay, I got married young. I think I was ready. Up to this day, think I was ready to be married. It was an interesting journey. I won't change anything about it. Why? Because I don't think I'd be who I am today if I didn't go through that experience. It was not the best experience to go through. It was not the best experience to say that you're married in, but it was the best experience for me to grow.
Okay.
Yeah. I went in a marriage expecting the person to fulfill the voids that I had.
Okay.
Yeah. And that alone caused issues. I went in a marriage expecting that both persons, he and I, were on the same wavelength in terms of how things were and whatever. That was not the case either. So, I went into marriage with a lot of with some expectations. I went in marriage with expectations. Lord Jesus, the first month after I got married, I pack up my things and call my father and say, listen, I am coming home. And he said, coming where? I said, oh, this not work for me. This not keep. Because I have seen my parents married for, I wouldn't say they had the best marriage.
Okay.
But I saw what marriage was.
It was marriage.
So me, being married, I'm not gonna let this happen. I'm not gonna do this. I'm not gonna do that. So I already went into a marriage. No, this is not gonna happen. This is not gonna happen. I'm not doing this. I'm not doing whatever it is, and forgetting that hey, you're gonna be with somebody else, and I just see one.
Right.
You get me?
Right.
So the expectations now that I'm throwing on the person was so unfair to them. And I grow now, but me can't stay saying that. But looking back at it, that was the case. I gave this person some expectation and expected them to fill it. My thing is also, and I'm going to throw this out to persons, if you don't love yourself, ain't nobody can love you for you. So you have to love yourself, and you have to go into a marriage loving yourself and just saying, I'm going to put myself in this marriage or bring myself into this marriage, expecting that the person will add to my happiness and not give me happiness. You get the point I'm making?
Say that again, because I don't think a lot of people catch that.
Yeah,
because it's a deep statement that you just made.
Yeah.
Can you restate that statement? What you just said about it?
You when you're getting married, you get married being a whole. You have to love yourself. You have to know who you are. Accept who you are. Because if you don't, a problem. So when you're gonna get married, make sure that you go into marriage loving yourself and expecting that the person who you're gonna marry is gonna add to you and not bring that happiness to you. Because truth is, if you're dependent on someone to give you that happiness and fulfill that and make you happy and whatever, when them sad, you sad. When them depressed, you depressed. Because whatever it is that they're giving to you, you're taking. You have to learn how to be a whole by yourself. God, they always say, oh, two become one. Yes, two become one, but that does not mean that you're not your own individual.
Okay.
And that for me, I never understood until I got married. And my pastor, or the pastor who counseled us, said, when you get married, the husband take care of the wife's need, the wife take care of the husband's need. I believe that I was giving, and was not getting as I needed. And people's love language is important to know the love languages, because we can mess up. Because what happens mostly is that persons tend to love their partner the way how they want to be loved, and that is not the case. You have to love the partner the way how your partner needs to be loved, and not necessarily how you want to be loved, because everybody's love language is different. So I mean, I learned the journey wasn't the best, but I had good moments in there. I had good moments. I learned. I got to do a lot of things. I got to have my first 2 songs out from that marriage. It was a learning experience. I'll leave it at. It was a learning experience.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. You dealt with depression that you mentioned earlier about depression. I guess the counseling brought that out. You did counseling, and that helped you with your depression and stuff like that. What is your what would you advise to someone that may be in depression, or going through maybe a similar type of situation as you are?
Well, I'm Christian. I have it tonight. So, all right. So
this is Unfiltered by G'Ade.
Listen, I want to start a program for. So, depression. I've dealt with depression from I was about 8 years old. I've dealt with depression. 8. 8. Mm-hmm. Many people don't know, because I don't normally show it. I said in the beginning I'm not good at hiding things, but I can be myself, and you don't know what's happening. I don't wear my emotions on my sleeve all the time. No, I don't. Okay. So I was going through depression when I was 8 years old. It transpired in me taking sedatives, so I could actually sleep. Many people don't know that either. Listen, depression is not a good thing, it's a terrible thing. I had tried to end my life many times. I don't even know what to tell you. Persons dealing with depression, my thing is get to talk to someone. Not everybody, because I tried to talk to people in the church. I'm not even a good goddess, no. But I tried talking to people in the church, and it failed me miserably failed me, and I decided that was never gonna happen again. I don't want to talk to nobody into no church about nothing. So what I had to do to deal with it is have a partner who is no understanding of it, where I have a husband who can I have a husband who understands, although sometimes I feel like it's almost caging. Whereas as he sees me sad, he's, oh, what happened to you? What happened to you? I feel like, boy, I'm being caged. Allow me to have some space to breathe. Right. But having someone that you can talk to is important. It's so important, because if you don't have that, you'll be suffering. Depression is something that you suffer through. You will suffer, and it will kill you, because it eats away inside. And just talk to someone. Okay. It took a while for me, and the amazing thing was, people thought, when I had said it to my counselor, she was like, you never spoke to anybody, why didn't you speak? Even with her, God bless her heart if she's listening, she spent almost 2 years doing counseling with me.
2 years, wow. Okay. Okay.
No counselor should spend so much time with somebody. But because my matters were so deep.
You had deeper scars.
I had such deep scars. And in the initial stage of even talking with me, I wouldn't open up. Because I have to trust persons before I open up. I don't trust easily. And it took some time for me, to trust her with what I have to say. And when I did, the good part is, and counselors need to understand, when people are explaining and telling you things that are happening to them, your facial expression can't show shock. Yeah. Because if you show shock, if you show disgust, if you show up like you're appalled, they're not going to talk again.
Right.
nobody's gonna talk again and share.
Because they feel like they're being judged.
And, right, and I didn't feel like I was being judged. I mean, I tell us some words come out of my mouth.
Pastor's child.
The bishop's child.
Okay,
so words come out of my mouth.
Okay.
And at a point, the first time I see it along, I snickered to myself. Because the first time, I was so mad and I was telling her what happened, and I lost her fix her clothes. I saw her fix her clothes.
Did not expect that.
And she continued looking at me as if nothing happened. And that was one of my ones. I absolutely love her. Absolutely love her. And she helped so much. And if I find not all counsellors, sometimes you're not sometimes very open with some counsellors. Mm-hmm. But I was very comfortable with her. So I was able to share. And yeah. Okay. So I dealt with it.
Okay. What are you passionate about?
Everything. Life. I'm passionate about being happy.
Okay. So coming out of that experience, the depression, the deaths, the everything, you have a zest for life now.
Yeah, and my father said to me one day, and I think, you see how much I might have one father? Mm-hmm. My father said to me one day, that was the year before he died. I think the November or the October, one of them.
Okay.
I went to look for him, and he said to me, listen, I didn't get to do what I wanted to do in life. Mm. And he said he didn't live a happy life. And it's so sad that he knows he's going to die unhappy.
Mercy.
So all his years have been wasted because what he invested in was nothing of happiness. And that it hit me. And he was like, what you must strive for in life is to be happy. Because you might get the job, you might get whatever it is, and if you're not happy, you haven't lived. And that for me did a lot. And what cemented it is when he was being buried, and I looked at him when they were putting him down in the grave, and I looked at him, and he went with nothing that he worked so hard for. Wow. He went with nothing in his hands. Mm-hmm. Not one earthly thing he went down in there with. And I looked at it and I was saying, look how this man works so hard. Sometimes he's not home. He don't spend time with the family, nothing at all. Just to get nothing. All the degrees, the PhD, the doctorate, everything. He's going down in the grave with nothing.
Right.
Not a thing.
Right.
And I said, no. My aim in life is to be happy, that's all.
Okay.
Nothing else more than that. And I'm striving to do that. I have spent most of my life unhappy. Okay. I have spent most of my life going through things. And I decided, no, I have to be happy. It's what it is.
It's what it is. Mm-hmm. Okay. So why the podcast? Why now?
Sir, I was at home. And I did an interview with someone. And afterwards, I was thinking about it because she was saying, you need to do a podcast, you have a good voice, you need to answer. And I was like, yes, still not sure. Because as I said, I'm not someone that I like to, persons in my business and, no.
Okay. Sorry, this podcast
Listen,
changed all that.
It changed everything. Everybody know about my business,
No. Oh.
So,
sorry.
Yeah. And I remember having a discussion with my husband, and he was like, everything that you want to do, you keep on pushing it aside because of fear. You're letting fear hold you hostage and not get up and just do what you want to do. And he said it, and we're still, feeling like a child that has been spoken to sternly. And I remember I went to bed. I was thinking about it throughout the entire night, and I went to bed, woke up the morning, and just started the podcast.
Wow. And that led us to here now.
That's how the podcast started. And I said, okay, well, the man said, me a babe like me don't want to not sing. So before him come back again and want to cuss me off, let me do something. And I just said, hello, let me do it. And he came in, he jumped in,
okay,
and he helped with it. You need audio, I found my music, I found whatever. He did the cutting, he did the listen. Look here to me. And I'm here today, saints of the living God, because of what's
we might have a sermon now. Preach, sister.
Yeah.
So, once again, we're just having a conversation with Jade, the founder and CEO of the Unfiltered by Jade. Listen out for more. This is Talk a Tit, and I'd like to thank Jade once again for allowing me to fill this awesome seat of hers in interviewing. Thank you so much for being on the Unfiltered by Jade.
Thank you.
And we'll see you again next Tuesday, where Jade will retain her seat or reclaim her seat.
Yes.
And for another exciting episode of the Unfiltered by Jade.
Thank you.